Whether you're new to the game or you've been playing the game for a while, it's important for you to understand that everybody who learns and plays this game has to go through an appropriate progression, a learning progression. So a lot of people don't know that this exists, but we'd like to share it with you now. So here is our progression. Ben, what's the first step for everybody to go through when appropriately learning a motor skill or golf game in this case?
Yeah, if you're looking to get better at golf, you have to, what we would say is understand why. So when we talk about understanding why, it's, well, why do you shoot what you shoot, right? So a lot of people don't really understand why they can't break 100. So typically what we'll see at B Golf is players will come in and they'll start talking about their goals and what they want to do. And then they'll start talking to us about they have a ball striking problem, but little do they know maybe it's just short game. Maybe there's a mindset problem. Maybe it's something different. So you have to understand why you currently shoot what you shoot and maybe why the ball does what it does.
Definitely have to get to the root cause of the problem. Yes?
Yep.
So if you don't get to the root cause, the actual root cause, you're not going to make progress. There's going to be no progression. All right, so let's say somebody's shooting 95 and we identify why they're shooting 95 or why they're not shooting 85, if you will. Then what's the next step? So then where do we go with it?
Next step would be you have to have some type of structured training with objective feedback. If you don't have structured training with objective feedback, like how are you going to get to the destination, right? So to us, it's very important that you don't skip that second step.
Probably the most important step, seems like to me.
I would agree.
Yeah, so what most folks do in the game of golf is they go to the range with the intention to hit it well. And then if they don't hit it well, they start trying to fix things that they don't quite understand, and then it effectively gets off the rails.
Yep.
Right? So that going to the range and just trying to hit good shots is not structured training with objective
it's more of like a reactive approach to training, right? So it's not a proactive approach. So we're very, very big into proactive approaches when it comes to your structured training.
A good way to think about this step too is little league sports. You could have soccer, baseball, football, hockey, any sports where the kids go to practice and then there's teams of coaches and they have the pylons. They ultimately structure the activity and they make sure that the kids are going through the appropriate skill development. And then year over year, the baseball team gets better, the soccer team gets better, the kids get better at sports. The structured training with objective feedback is one critical piece to that puzzle.
That is true.
Okay, so once we understand the why, say somebody's shooting 95 because they have a putting issue, then we can structure that putting training appropriately with objective feedback, or driving, or whatever the case is. So once they do the structured training with objective feedback, then where do they go?
Now we have to do game-like training. So you have to continue to put pressure on yourself while you're training. So you need to start to simulate what it's going to be like on the golf course. If you skip that step, don't be surprised when this fails out on the golf course. You have to put some game-like training into your practice so you know how to deal with those situations and you start to understand what tendencies are going to come out under pressure and how to deal with it.
Very good. So you have to expose that skill that you're trying to train to a game-like situation. So that could be like the wind or the rough, or can you do it on the first ball?
Yeah.
So
as opposed to your 10th ball.
Yeah. So what happens in common golf instruction is people will go take a lesson on Tuesday and they try to figure out why they're slicing it. And then they try to play on Saturday and it doesn't work. And then they wonder why it doesn't work. And the truth is because they've skipped steps 2 and 3, yes?
Yeah, just like we always tell people, if you skip steps, you will trip and fall.
Guaranteed.
Don't be surprised if it happens. It's going to happen.
Guaranteed. So we talked about our performance improvement process through the free swinging motion, the ball control, and the playing procedure. We've encompassed these 4 steps, right? So you can have a training program that mirrors how you're going to go play the sport.
Yes.
Right? So the training program has to accurately reflect the reality of the game of golf or how we play it.
Yeah.
Very good. So this progression is important. We've learned this through Dr. Rick Jensen. He helped us understand this early as coaches, and it's been one of the more profound things that we've learned, and we've honored it to help people effectively get better from the practice tee to the golf course and actualize their goals.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, very good. So this progression, we're going to follow it through the performance improvement process. Just know it's critical to your development. In steps 2 and 3, the reality is it takes time. So there is no quick fix. Anybody who's trying to sell you a quick fix is probably lying to you.
Full of baloney.
Yeah. So we're going to work on steps 2 and 3. Once you understand the why, the how becomes easy like we talked about. We're going to move it up the ladder and off we go. So we hope this helps you understand, and we look forward to being a part of your golf moving forward.